Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And he powers his way up past the 30.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. Oh, looking for water, but this is intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Brady. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Colts are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Tannehill. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And some space here. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So call off the pick six.
Everything looked right. It looked like it was in their favor. Returned it for a touchdown, as you just described. But instead, the penalty for interference nullifies everything.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Stuck for the loss by Devin White.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now Tannehill. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. These two teams, division rivals, of course. And you remember back to Week 18 last year, although Colts fans don't want to remember back to Week 18 last year. The Colts needed a win. And the Jags, they were kind of looking ahead to 2022. But the two-win Jags came up with one of the shockers of the season. They stunned the Colts 26-11 in Jacksonville. And that loss ultimately kept Indianapolis home for the playoffs. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They run it again with Chubb. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. The Jaguars had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine. And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
3rd down, the Colts beefing up the secondary. 6 defensive backs in the game. To throw, it's Brady. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Emmanuel Ogbah. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense. 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And, partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
Off play action, Tannehill. That one taken in by T. Higgins.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Still a few inches short of the first down as they come up now on second down. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Tannehill. And his throw here's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. That's going to be caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there at 22.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
They'll run with Mitchell, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Elijah Mitchell, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Colts get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Fields it right around the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he is going to lose yardage here. No sweat for Montez Sweat that time as he makes that stop look easy.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second down and 12 at the 19-yard line. And again, it's Chubb. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
on a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long...
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is this horoscope ball? Is biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not have to go out more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that his defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely picked his lane, went with it. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Tyler Boyd from 3 yards out. And the Colts have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. 2nd down. Here's Chubb again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Brady now on 1st down. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Brady going to throw. Ertz has it left side. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here, and just load up for it and see what happens.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Throwing now is Brady. They set up the screen to Chubb. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a third and goal. Chubb will get it into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Gano the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
Looking at a second and 11 now after the loss. Now it's Tannehill. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line. Tannehill now to throw. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Tannehill. Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. There he goes, left side. 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Tannehill. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw is Tannehill. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, what a game this has turned out to be for him. Remember, CD, he had the turnover earlier, and now the pick-6, that's the cherry on top.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. When you force a turnover on defense, you're the guy most excited about getting back out there and trying to force another one. How about him picking off that pass, setting his sights on the end zone? You know he wasn't going to be denied getting there either.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Tannehill gets this to Waller on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rocky Sin. And the Jags will take over here just shy of the 30. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Well, indeed, trying to run it out as they start on the ground. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Throwing on 1st down is Brady. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Jordan Whitehair. A nightmare in the first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers, because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want us to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
On first down, Chubb going to get forward for only about a couple. 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Brady to throw. Caught by the tight end. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Colts pick it up. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So we thought maybe they would have a chance to extend this lead on the opening drive of the second half. Instead, they cough it up.
Obviously not an ideal start when you're trying to get a little separation, and I can guarantee that they talked about that in the locker room. Let's get out there, start this quarter the right way. Let's try and put some points on the board and create some space.
First down, here's Mitchell. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw, Tannehill. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards the pickup there. Well, that's always a good place to throw it, just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide.
And it's a fumble, and the Jags grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Brady looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football is certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
On 1st down, Tannehill. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They run over center with Mitchell. And he is close to a 1st down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 27. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now in the ballgame.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here's Mitchell. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the 1st down sticks are, and get there.
Tannehill's throw taken in by Chark. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
There you go. Right here.
He will push his way down to about the 14. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
From the gun, a give to Mitchell.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Jaguars are going to get the football back at their own 17. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Brady. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw complete there to Johnson. Finding room at midfield and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. D. Ford that time showing what he can do defensively. Credit him with a tackle for loss. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now a play fake. Brady. Out to his left. He's got this to Williams, complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Nick Chubb with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jaguars will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead now up to 14. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Tannehill. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Here's Tannehill. And that is incomplete. A little pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. And we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is caught. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for them.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief in, hey, we're going to get it done.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up. They've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone, and get us
touchdown. Darren Waller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And no return here for Evans as they will bring this out to the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Chubb will get the call running left. And the stiff arm proved fruitful for a second, but the daylight quickly snuffed out. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down, and he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
They go up the middle with Chubb, and he is going to lose yardage here. Drop behind the line on a nice play by Deion Jones. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it's 3rd and 4 now. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Now Brady. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Colts are right back in this football game. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this 4th quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. So nothing doing there, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Throwing, Tannehill. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, 1st down. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. 65 yards on the ground for him so far.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Tannehill. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
Here's Tannehill. The pass to Boyd, and he brings it in on the crossing route. And the Colts are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Now a timeout called for by the defense, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll try to run with Mitchell. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Elijah Mitchell, his 1st rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback in his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. I get and appreciate that they wanted to go for the win, not play for overtime, but that's the cost right there.
Not so sure their fans feel the same way as you when they just watch that ball get picked and taken the other way, and now they're down 6. Looks like it's going to be a loss for them. An absolute catastrophe when they tried to be aggressive.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for Indianapolis, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they'll drop to 0-2. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.
ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way